I had no idea how much my life was about to change. It happened because my fiancé, who was a university professor, ended up getting a hotel room with one of her male students. They said it was for a private academic discussion, but someone secretly filmed them and put the video online. It immediately went viral. I was getting ready to do some public relations damage control for her when my fiancé, Dr. Alicia Vance, posted her own statement. My name is Noah Clark. Alicia and I had been a couple for 3 years. Just the night before, I had asked her to marry me and she had happily accepted. Then I froze as I read her post. Her student's name was Ethan. The photo she attached to the post showed their fingers laced together, and on their hands were the matching rings she had ordered for me a week ago. The sight felt like a punch to the gut. When Alicia finally came home that evening, she tried to explain the situation to me. We work in academia, Noah. We absolutely cannot have any kind of scandal associated with us. Ethan is an incredibly talented student whom I've personally mentored. He's not like you, some kind of public figure who thrives on attention and gossip. He can't handle all this public scrutiny. I have to protect him. Every time she spoke about Ethan, her expression softened. Once this whole thing settles down and disappears, our wedding will continue exactly as planned. I picked up my phone and called my female co-star, an actress named Sarah. That kissing scene we did yesterday felt pretty real, didn't it? How about we actually make it real? Just before I'd seen the trending story, I had received the design blueprints for the custom-made wedding suit Alicia had sent over. I figured the whole thing about a professor and her student was just another piece of junk news, and I was about to scroll past it, but my finger just stopped moving. In the blurred, long-distance photo, I recognized the woman instantly. She was walking into a hotel hand in hand with a male student. It was Alicia. The comments were already blowing up. Oh my God, doesn't that profile look exactly like Noah Clark, the actor's fiancé? No way, his fiancé is totally devoted to him. Why would she cheat? It's probably just someone who looks like her, a simple mistake. It can't be. And don't you all remember Noah Clark's fiancé is also a professor? In just a few minutes, the comments section on Alicia's professional social media profile exploded. The whole story was trending everywhere. As the outrage grew, people started tagging Alicia directly. Dr. Vance, everyone is tagging you. You need to make a statement and clarify. Was that really you in the hotel with a student? I could almost picture Alicia's usually cool and reserved expression as she read that comment. She had always cared deeply about her professional standing and protecting her reputation as a flawless academic. I was planning how I could step in and make things right when Alicia suddenly posted an update. Thank you all for your concern. Yes, I am the woman involved in the hotel incident. But to be perfectly clear, while Ethan is my student, he is also my fiancé. We have been a couple for 3 years, and just last night he accepted my proposal. Therefore, whatever we choose to do in a hotel room is our personal business. Please stop spreading misinformation. Thank you. She included a photograph. It showed 2 hands with fingers tightly intertwined, both wearing the matching rings she had designed for me just a week ago. The rings sparkled brightly, but the image felt like a cold blade twisting in my gut. A week ago, we had been talking about using those exact rings as our wedding bands when we exchanged vows. Now they were on another man's hand. I had spent almost 8 years in the entertainment business, patiently waiting for Alicia to reach the level of success she wanted, so we could finally get married. I never, ever expected something like this to happen right before our wedding. I fought back the hot stinging in my eyes, my fingernails digging deeply into my palms. A message popped up on my phone. It was from my best friend, David. Noah, what the heck is going on? Has your fiancé lost her mind? Look at what she just posted online. What is she even talking about? Weren't you two just out together yesterday? How did she turn around and propose to someone else? I let out a sharp, bitter laugh. It's nothing, David. She probably has her reasons for doing this, I managed to say, my voice thick with emotion. At this point, I couldn't even defend her anymore. Even I didn't believe they had spent the night in a hotel room purely to talk about academics. Soon enough, my own social media comments section blew up as people flooded my page looking for answers. Noah, what's going on? Isn't the famous Dr. Vance your fiancé? She's published so many books and has such a high standing in the academic world. Don't tell me you were just making it all up to benefit from her reputation. I was being dragged into the mess for no reason. People who already didn't like me jumped at the chance to spread nasty rumors and insults. I always said Noah Clark was just a pretty face looking for a free ride. He'll cozy up to any woman who can help his career. Dr. Vance never even publicly acknowledged him as her fiancé before. Looks like he was lying the whole time. An actor should just stay in that awful industry. Why is he trying so hard to attach himself to a professor? Dr. Vance and her student are a much better match. I was about to fire back, but I just laughed sadly and felt all my strength leave me. Staring at the beautiful, elegant design for my wedding suit, I was silent for a moment. Then I ripped the paper into tiny shreds. I couldn't believe Alicia would cheat on me like this, but the reality was a painful smack in the face. She was supposed to be a respected professor with excellent moral standards. She used to act like she loved me more than anything. She would never even meet with a male student alone, so how could she possibly get a hotel room with one just to talk about academics? But she did. I suddenly needed to see who this student was. This guy Alicia was willing to risk her whole reputation to protect. I took a taxi to the hotel. I lied to the front desk, claiming I had lost my expensive watch there. I slipped the clerk $500 to pull up the security footage from that night. My breath hitched in my throat as I watched Alicia walking into the hotel room, her arm looped intimately around the student's. I had seen that boy before. His name was Ethan. The last time we met was in Alicia's car. The young man in the passenger seat froze when I opened the door. I'm one of Dr. Vance's students, he said quickly. Alicia, with her hands on the steering wheel, casually explained, He's a bit disorganized and lost the draft of his thesis. His defense is coming up soon, so I'm driving him to print a new copy. I glanced at Ethan's hands and saw he was indeed holding a stack of freshly printed pages. I smiled and offered him my hand. Hi, I'm Noah Clark, and Dr. Vance and I aren't married yet. The young man's eyes widened instantly. Noah Clark? You're that famous actor, right? Oh my God, could I possibly get your autograph? He chatted excitedly with me for a while that day. I genuinely thought he was just another one of Alicia's devoted students. I never imagined he was working a double shift. I sat in the security office, a sudden coldness running through my body as I watched the entire video. It was from the night the rumors began. The night Alicia and her student claimed they were in a hotel room to discuss academics. A delivery person came to the door twice. Alicia answered, wearing a silk robe, and I could faintly hear a young man's voice from inside. Dr. Vance, I'm just getting out of the shower. Come on in. Ethan, wearing an oversized white shirt, didn't even wait for the door to fully close before he threw himself at her. The two started kissing deeply right there in the doorway. Through the monitor, I saw Alicia's unrestrained desire, her wild side. My own eyes turned red with anger. I remembered how she used to hold me, whispering over and over, Noah, you are mine. Every single time she found out I had filmed a kissing scene, she would pin me against a wall, her eyes flashing red, and kiss me with a kind of fierce, vengeful passion. Did that actress touch you today? Of course not. I'd laugh and try to get away from her, but she'd pull me tighter. Her kisses would trail downwards. They were like a match lighting a fire that made my entire body burn. Did she touch you here? What about here? But for the last 6 months, Alicia and I hadn't been intimate at all. She was angry because I had accepted a main role in a new romantic drama that had a kissing scene with a popular young starlet, and she'd given me the cold shoulder for over half a month. Lately, when I finally had some free time, she always told me she was too busy. I'm completely swamped helping these students with their theses. What they've written is a mess. It's practically unreadable. So every night, she would lock herself in her study until the early hours. Was she really mentoring students? Or was she just using it as an excuse to continue an affair with one? Only she knew the truth. After I got back from the hotel, I contacted one of Alicia's co-workers and got the student's contact information. I added him from an anonymous account. I pretended to be from the hotel's customer service, thanking him for his stay and offering a small complimentary gift. That's strange. The room wasn't booked using my ID. How did you get my contact info? I quickly made up an excuse. It's in our hotel registration system. We can look it up. Oh, okay then. I could see his entire social media feed. It was completely public. His most recent post stood out from the rest. They all say a student-teacher romance is impossible, but she stood up to the world and announced our relationship to everyone. I stared at the screen for a long time, a bitter, hollow smile on my face. I couldn't find the strength to keep scrolling. I sat at home in the dark until the sun went down. Finally, the front door opened and Alicia walked in, carrying the scent of a strange man's cologne. "Noah, I love you," she said, hugging me from behind. But I gently pushed her away with a frown. "Aren't you going to explain what happened today?" She looked at me in surprise. I held up my phone, showing her the clarification she had posted online. Alicia's eyes quickly darted away. She adjusted her glasses and began to explain. "Noah, you have to understand. We are academics. We absolutely cannot have any kind of scandal. Ethan is a brilliant student I've personally mentored. He's not like you, some celebrity who gets attention from scandals and gossip." Whenever she spoke about Ethan, her eyes softened again. "He can't handle the public scrutiny. I have to protect him. Noah, Ethan is not like you. He's just an innocent kid who hasn't seen the world. I can't let him be subjected to all this gossip." I watched her say all this with a completely straight face, even though she knew I had softly launched our relationship on social media for my last birthday. Many of my sharp-eyed fans had already figured out she was the famous Dr. Vance. Her public clarification now was a huge, humiliating slap in my face. I clenched my fists and asked with a painful smile, "So, what about me, Alicia? It's perfectly okay for me to go through this? Have you even looked at the comments on my page? Do you see what people are calling me? They're calling me a gold digger, the other man. A useless piece of garbage who made up rumors just to climb the social ladder. That's enough, Noah." Alicia took a deep breath, clearly trying to calm me down. "I know this has been difficult, for you, but this was honestly the best approach. Once this all goes away, our wedding will continue as planned. I promise." After saying that, she must have assumed I would just drop the subject. She turned and went into the bathroom with a towel to shower. I watched her go, my gaze turning cold and distant. There wasn't going to be a wedding, Alicia. I, Noah Clark, had loved you for 8 years. Even when people dragged my name through the mud, I never gave up on you. It wasn't because you were so amazing. It was because I genuinely believe in being loyal in a relationship. But now, I finally see the truth clearly. Alicia, you've been rotten inside for a long time. You don't deserve a love as good and devoted as mine. I wiped away my tears and picked up my phone. I called the actress I'd been linked to in the gossip magazines. "Sarah, that kissing scene we did yesterday felt pretty real. How about we actually make it real?" When Sarah answered the phone, she practically jumped out of bed with surprise. "Noah, you finally came around!" Her voice was so full of shock and happiness, it sounded like she had won the lottery. "Should I come to your place, or should you come to mine? Or," Sarah let out a low, mischievous laugh, "should we follow your fiancé's lead and just get a hotel room?" I nodded firmly. "Sure. Let's go to a hotel." Half an hour later, Sarah's car was parked downstairs. Alicia acted just like any other night. After her shower, she disappeared into her study. The moment she closed the door, I turned on the camera feed on my phone. I saw her on a video call. The attractive young man on the other end was Ethan. Alicia was smiling at him lovingly. "So what? You've already touched me everywhere. You absolutely have to take responsibility for me. Ethan, let me get a good look at you. I miss your six-pack." The rest of their conversation became too disgusting for me to listen to. Sarah and I went to a hotel. I noticed paparazzi were following us and taking pictures. Sarah saw them and frowned, about to go stop them. "Don't worry about it," I said, pulling her back gently. "Just let them take their pictures." Sarah looked at me with open disbelief. "Are you serious? Are you and your professor fiancé having a fight? Weren't you the one who was always terrified of the paparazzi getting photos like this and making your precious fiancé upset?" I looked down with a bitter smile. "That doesn't matter anymore." I used to care so much about Alicia's feelings, always putting her first. Aside from the necessary publicity required by investors, I didn't want any extra scandals to upset her. But now, I simply didn't care. As expected, the very next day, the story of Sarah and me entering and leaving a hotel together was front-page news. When Alicia saw it, she went ballistic and stormed over to find me. "Noah, are you doing this just to hurt me? You weren't filming yesterday, and you weren't on set. Why were you at a hotel with that starlet?" I glanced up at her, my face a blank mask, and raised an eyebrow. "We were simply running lines." Alicia looked at me as if I had told a silly joke, and let out a nasty, cold laugh. "Noah, do you think I'm an idiot? You get a hotel room late at night and tell me you were just reading a script? You actually think I would believe that?" She started pulling at my clothes, trying to check my body for any marks. She had always been this controlling throughout our years together. Even after I became a successful A-list actor, in her eyes, I was just an accessory. I shoved her away hard, my gaze freezing. "Why shouldn't you believe me? You, the great Dr. Vance, can go to a hotel with a male student to discuss academics. Why can't I go to one with a colleague to discuss a script?" Hearing the heavy sarcasm in my voice, Alicia's face darkened instantly. "Noah, are you intentionally being rude and passive-aggressive with me? I already told you Ethan and I went to the hotel to discuss his thesis. We were doing something intellectually important, unlike you with your disgusting thoughts." Her gaze then fell on the hickey on my neck, and her eyes went completely cold. "Noah, is that what you call running lines?" Her voice was a furious hiss. "I guess you two couldn't get enough of each other on screen. You were so desperate you couldn't wait to jump into bed at a hotel, huh?" Watching her face grow paler and paler, I let out a cold, satisfied laugh. "Weren't you the one who said it? We're not married yet. We're free to do whatever we want." That was her exact response when I had questioned her about not coming home one night. Now I was throwing her own words right back at her. "What's wrong, Alicia? You didn't think I'd get mad when you were cheating on me, but now that the roles are reversed, you're totally freaking out? Why the double standard?" Seeing her face turn ashen, I felt a rush of vengeful satisfaction. I pulled open my collar, revealing even more marks. "You're absolutely right. I was with another woman last night. She's younger than you and much more gentle and considerate." My tone was full of deliberate provocation. "That Ethan kid must be out of his mind. He's in his prime. Why doesn't he find a sugar mama instead of an old woman like you?" "Noah, shut your mouth!" Alicia was so furious her face went completely white, her fingertips trembling. She raised her hand as if to strike me. I stared at her coldly, not flinching. We both knew that if that slap landed, our 8 years together would be over for good. "Noah, you've got some serious nerve. You really do." She grabbed her coat and stormed out the door, slamming it behind her. But I wasn't worried at all. 10 minutes later, a new post appeared on Ethan's social media feed. "That evil man bullied my Alicia again. I'm so mad. He's old and disgusting, and he won't leave my professor alone, and now her hand is hurt because of him." He included a picture, Ethan's long, delicate fingers were gently tending to a small cut on Alicia's hand. I left a casual comment on the post. "Trash belongs with trash. You two are perfect for each other. She won't have a fiancé for much longer. Wishing you two a long and happy life." As soon as I posted it, Ethan started furiously typing back a reply. "You damn customer service bot! What are you even talking about? What do you know? I couldn't be bothered with him." I just deleted his comment and then blocked him completely. I had never gone through Alicia's phone or laptop before. But after I got back from the hotel that day, I went through everything. I wanted to know when Alicia had become so deceitful. When had her heart started to drift away, leading us to this terrible point? On her laptop, I found a folder named True Love. Inside were over 1,000 photographs, all of Ethan. Candid, careful shots of him in every possible pose. You simply couldn't take pictures with that much attention without being deeply in love. I thought about the 8 years we were together. Whenever we went on vacation, she would get impatient after taking 1 or 2 pictures of me. Her excuse was always, "You're so handsome. You look great from every angle. It doesn't matter how I shoot you." So, after years of vacations, I barely had a single photo of myself I liked. I guess the difference between being loved and not, or at least the intensity of the love, was that clear. She had mentioned Ethan to me before. She had said he was an innocent, harmless boy, pure as the driven snow. She told me how he'd once thrown away his umbrella in the rain and run through the puddles in his white canvas sneakers. The sight had completely captivated her. She was almost 30, her heart jaded and worldly, no longer young and naive. She said that whenever she saw Ethan, she felt a powerful urge to protect him. It wasn't like how she felt with me. Every time she saw my handsome, polished face, she couldn't help but wonder which actress I had kissed that day, or who had touched me. I opened the liquor cabinet that I had been saving for a special occasion. I started drinking some of the bottles and smashing others. We had planned to serve that expensive alcohol to our friends and family at our wedding. Now there was no reason to. After I had completely trashed the place, I finally opened my phone and sent a message to Alicia. "The engagement is canceled. Let's never see each other again." That night, I packed a suitcase and went to a hotel. The next morning, I took my ID, grabbed Sarah, and we went straight to City Hall to get married. The young starlet the internet had dubbed the new goddess was so excited she kept looking at our marriage certificate over and over. She immediately started planning the wedding reception, inviting everyone in the entertainment industry. That very day, she couldn't wait to announce it on social media. To my husband, here's to the rest of our lives. The entertainment world erupted once again. Whoa! Am I seeing this correctly? Some B-list starlet actually married the superstar Noah Clark? They got married! My God, I never would have put those two together. My fans also went on the offensive for me. Let's see what the haters have to say now about our guy climbing the social ladder. Noah Clark doesn't need Dr. Vance. Yeah, compared to some 30-something-year-old woman, the young starlet is much better. In her university office, Alicia was buried in a stack of papers, editing a thesis. Ethan was lounging on the sofa, playing on his phone. When he saw the news, his eyes went wide. Dr. Vance, did Noah Clark actually break up with you? He married some young actress. Alicia glanced up, unconcerned, and scoffed. She didn't believe it for a second. His job is being an actor. He's best at this kind of fake drama. It's just another publicity stunt. Ignore it. She thought that after all these years of me being desperately in love with her, I would never truly leave. She shamelessly started telling Ethan about our love story, how I had stayed by her bedside day and night, taking care of her after her car accident. But Ethan just blinked, looking clearly displeased. Vance, have you forgotten? Yesterday, when you came to me with your hand all hurt, you said Noah Clark had slept with another woman. They got a hotel room and everything. After he betrayed you like that, you're still going to marry him? Ethan's eyes turned red with grievance, and he hugged her arm, shaking it. And didn't you say you were sick of him? You said I made you feel young again, that I'm the one you love. Alicia fell silent for a moment, then turned to look at a photo of me on her desk. Ethan, you just don't understand. The adult world isn't that simple. I may not love Noah anymore, but we were together for 8 years. Alicia looked out the window, her expression complicated. How many 8-year periods does a person get in their life? Besides, when Noah's parents passed away, I swore to them I would take care of him for the rest of his life. I know he was with another woman that night. It's not entirely his fault. The entertainment industry is a very messy place. When he's done fooling around, he'll come back and marry me. But she had no idea. Even Ethan could see it clearly. Dr. Vance, you really don't understand men at all, Ethan said sadly. He lowered his head and sighed. When someone has had enough disappointment, they leave. Maybe you should go back and try to talk to Noah. Alicia frowned slightly. She didn't like hearing that, so she quickly changed the subject. Ethan, let's not talk about him. She stood up and stroked his head. Is the thesis revised? I'll take you to a movie-in for hot pot tonight. That evening, Sarah and I were sitting in a movie theater, watching a film. Noah! Suddenly, someone called my name in utter disbelief. I turned my head. Alicia was standing in the aisle, holding a large bucket of popcorn, staring at me, in a daze. And right behind her stood that pure young man, Ethan. Noah, what are you doing here? You haven't been home for days. Where have you been? Alicia dropped the popcorn and rushed over, trying to grab my hand. But Sarah blocked her way instantly. Hey, lady, do you have any manners? You look all neat and proper with those glasses, so why are you grabbing a strange man in public? Alicia immediately recognized her as my rumored girlfriend, Sarah. Her expression instantly turned sour. What business is that of yours? Noah is my boyfriend. Get out of the way. But in the next second, her gaze fell on the matching outfits Sarah and I were wearing. Alicia's face twisted with jealousy. Why are you wearing matching clothes with this woman? For 8 years, I had always wanted to try wearing matching outfits with her, but Alicia would always hesitate and then refuse. She would self-righteously tell me, Noah, you're a public figure now. You have to protect your privacy. If the paparazzi or media catch us wearing matching outfits in public, it will definitely hurt your career opportunities. She refused again and again, so I gave up on the idea. But now, I didn't have to worry about any of that, because Sarah and I were married. We were a legally married couple that everyone knew about. Now I could do whatever I wanted without having to consider anyone else's feelings. Seeing that I was ignoring her, Alicia tried to persuade me, pretending it was for my own good. Noah, are you getting tired of this industry? Or are you just making this publicity stunt with this starlet even bigger? Go home right now, and I can pretend none of this ever happened. I cut her off with a cold laugh. Dr. Vance, is your internet down at home? Or have you been so busy on dates with your little boyfriend that you missed the top trending story? I held up my hand, flashing the ring on my finger. I'm married. What's wrong with my wife and me wearing matching outfits? And when you say, go home, which home are you talking about? You don't mean that small, awful apartment of yours, do you? Sorry, my wife and I have our own place. When or if we go back is not your business anymore. Alicia's fists clenched, her eyes fixed on me. Sensing the eyes of everyone in the theater turning toward her, Alicia took a deep breath and tried to reason with me in a low, controlled voice. Noah, stop making a scene. Everyone is watching. You think I'll believe you? Every time we fought, you'd threaten to call off the engagement and break up with me. When were you ever serious? She scoffed. You've heard the story of the boy who cried wolf, right? If you cry wolf too many times, no one believes you anymore. She looked me over with a sneer, a look of contempt that showed she thought she could easily control me. Besides, a guy like you acting with all those different actresses, your reputation is already ruined. Who else would marry you besides me? Do you really think this young starlet is someone you can depend on? She's just with you for your looks. You're a short-term fling, something for her to play with. Once she gets tired of you, she'll just go marry some guy her own age, won't she? Before Alicia could even finish her thought, Sarah, who doesn't take any disrespect from anyone, swung her arm and slapped her hard across the face. You old witch! You've got some nerve trying to cause trouble between us. I chased Noah for years and I finally got him. Now you can get the heck away from us. Alicia was absolutely stunned. Her glasses flew off her face and were crushed under the feet of people walking by. For a professor with severe nearsightedness, losing her glasses was like being instantly blinded. My glasses! My glasses! Alicia fumbled around, trying desperately to find them. But Sarah wasn't finished. She started throwing punches like a furious hailstorm. Ethan shrieked in terror. Stop hitting her, Ms. Sarah! I believe you're really married. It's all my fault. I should have stopped Dr. Vance. Please let her go. And Noah is a celebrity. If someone recognizes him, this will be all over the headlines tomorrow. I looked at Ethan with a cold smile. Sure enough, beneath that innocent, boyish exterior was a sharp, calculating mind. No wonder he stood out from all the other male students and quickly won Alicia's heart. Honey, that's enough, I said. Sarah immediately stopped, hiding behind me like a gentle kitten. I smiled faintly. Ethan, remember that I'm letting her go because of you. From now on, keep your woman on a tight leash. If she ever barks at me again, I'll put her down every single time. The movie night was completely ruined. Just being in the same place as Alicia made the air feel dirty. So Sarah and I left and went to a private screening room instead. You hit her pretty hard just now. Did you hurt your hand? I leaned over to check Sarah's palm. She had hit Alicia so hard that her palm was red. Sarah just looked at me with deep affection, and when our eyes met, she couldn't help but giggle. It feels so wonderful to have a husband. I rolled my eyes at her. Be serious. Sarah wrapped her arm around mine like a pouting child. I am being serious, Noah. You have no idea how long I've waited for this day. I pushed her away a little to catch my breath. I remembered how she had joined my film crew 3 years ago. She had the looks and the talent, but she insisted on only taking small bit parts in my projects. And after 3 years of being an extra, she still hadn't made a name for herself. That's when I started to get suspicious. You've waited 3 years for me? Wrong, Sarah corrected me very seriously. It's been 1,195 days. She told me with a straight face about the first time we met. She saw me in the desert, wearing heavy armor, filming a fight scene over and over again. My sheer perseverance had stunned her. She even made a bet with her friends. A guy as driven as Noah Clark is, going to be a huge star someday. He'll take over the big screen and become a household name. She won the bet. Sarah looked at me with gentle eyes and handed me a peeled orange slice. So I knew back then that I was meant to be drawn to you, and that's why I came to work by your side. I remembered during our kissing scenes, I was perfectly happy with the takes, but Sarah would always say she couldn't get into character, forcing reshoot after reshoot. Thinking back, that girl was truly cunning. I couldn't help but flick her on the forehead. You little schemer. When we were filming this romance, I was wondering why the kissing scenes kept needing retakes. It was you taking advantage of me, wasn't it? Sarah giggled. So what if it was? Besides, I already had people in the industry look into you. You had a fiancé. If I didn't use a few little tricks, how would you ever break up with her? And how would I ever get my chance? Good thing all my hard work paid off. It's that awful Alicia who didn't know how to appreciate you. Losing you now is her karma. She totally deserved it. I just laughed it off. I had thought that after we broke up, I would be heartbroken. I thought I wouldn't be able to get over losing the person who had been a part of my life for 8 years. But now, I realize I was completely overthinking it, especially after watching those security videos over and over, seeing Alicia's true colors as she fooled around with her student. Seeing her two-faced lies, I just felt incredibly lucky. Lucky that I found out early and got away from that toxic woman. Over the next few days, Alicia called me constantly, telling me to come back, her tone just as condescending as ever. Noah, I know I went too far with what I said that day. I was wrong. But you think you're so innocent, fooling around with other women? Your entire career is built on scandals. Your work is dirty. What right do you have to judge me? Fine, I won't hold it against you anymore. Just come back, and we can pretend none of this ever happened. I let out a cold laugh and blocked her number. All these years, she'd used her high status in the academic world to act like she was better than everyone else. That was nothing new. But that didn't mean everyone had to put up with her behavior. A few days later, a video suddenly went viral. Someone had secretly filmed the entire incident at the movie theater. It was uploaded online, and it was a perfect record of everything that happened that day. The comment section exploded once again. OMG, so this is the real story. I just found out Alicia was Noah's fiancé, but they broke up because her student was a third wheel, and our A-list actor Noah has some serious courage. The moment he found out his fiancé cheated, he called it off and married someone else. I knew I wasn't wrong about him. Noah Clark is a leading man in real life, just like in his movies. Then one comment caught my eye. But did you guys not see that the starlet, Sarah, hit her first? She definitely has a violent streak. How can she be a good person? I was about to type a reply when a few new comments popped up. Are you blind? Didn't you see that Alicia was deliberately provoking them? And Sarah was clearly being a total badass, protecting her man, okay? The way she looks at her husband is all heart eyes, like a gentle little cat. It's so sweet, it's insane. OMG, can someone tell me which way to pray to get a cat-like girlfriend like that? I want one so bad. Fans were also gushing over the screen, expressing their envy. Noah Clark is winning at life. He's eating good. But when Alicia saw these comments, she completely lost it. She tried to call and threaten me to take the video down, but she couldn't reach me. So she cornered me in the park I often went to. She looked ragged and exhausted, as if she hadn't slept in days. Noah, how could you be so cruel? Are you trying to destroy me? She threatened me to delete the video, or else she'd make me suffer the consequences. I pushed her away, my face blank, and sneered, I'll be waiting. I turned to leave, but behind me came Alicia's gut-wrenching screams. She sounded as pathetic as a lost dog. Later, I found out that the scandal with her and Ethan had gotten so big that the university had gotten involved. Their university had a strict policy against student-teacher relationships. The outcome was either Ethan would be expelled or Alicia would lose her job. In the heat of the moment, Alicia didn't hesitate to save her own career. "Alicia, how could you be so selfish?" Ethan asked her in complete disbelief. "Didn't you say you'd protect me no matter what? Now, at the first sign of trouble, you're going to sacrifice me just to save your job? Do you have any integrity? Are you even a woman?" Alicia looked at him coldly and said, "Ethan, don't forget you were the one who seduced me. And it's not a big deal if you get expelled. As long as I'm still at the university, I can help you get into another school. But if I lose my job, I can't even support myself, let alone love you." In that moment, tears streamed down Ethan's face. He finally understood the harsh reality. He finally saw this woman's true, horrible character. "So, you were this despicable all along. I must have been blind to fall for you." Ethan ran off, crying. The next day, the university officially notified him of his expulsion. Alicia, of course, thought of a way to get her revenge on me. She uploaded my private photos and videos to the internet. Exclusive first-hand footage of A-list star Noah Clark, uncensored. Get it while it's hot. The photos and videos spread like wildfire online. But just 10 minutes later, they were completely erased from the internet. Before Alicia could even figure out what had happened, Sarah had shut it all down. "You dare hurt my Noah? I'll ruin your reputation." Only after we were married did I find out the full truth. The young starlet who had been pursuing me wasn't some unknown extra at all. Her real identity was the daughter of the film's main investor. With a single word, she had completely destroyed the reputation of the once famous professor. Finally, Alicia was filled with regret. The day after she went completely bankrupt, she came to find me. "Noah, I know I was wrong. You know how much I love you. Please, give me another chance, okay? What can that B-list starlet possibly give you? Nothing but a pretty face and a nice body. Who knows how many sugar daddies have already tossed her aside before she settled for you?" But I couldn't even be bothered to argue with her anymore. "Excuse me, a good dog doesn't block the path." Alicia's face instantly darkened. I brushed right past her without a second glance. I showed Alicia's photo to the crew and my bodyguards. "If this person shows up again, don't even bother talking to her. Just throw her out." My new drama was about to premiere. Sarah used her connections to promote it, and within a week, it was the #1 show in the entire country. I was swimming in awards and accolades. Alicia begged on her knees for my forgiveness, but I never looked at her again. After all, there's no medicine for regret in this world.